What is up everyone, how's it going? Hope you're keeping well and welcome back to another video on my YouTube channel. I'm fairly glad to see the back of GameWeek 6 to be honest, and with a double game week ahead of us in GameWeek 7 for Luton and Burnley, it's time to start planning ahead. Before we get into today's video, 70% of my viewers aren't actually subscribed to the channel, so if you are watching this and you're not subscribed, please do hit that subscribe button below. We're currently on the road to 5k subs, so if you're not subscribed, please do hit that button. It's free to do, won't cost you anything, and it would really support the channel. In today's video, we'll be looking at how I fared out in Game Week 6, and we'll also be looking at my transfer plans and team selection ahead of double Game Week 7. We've lots to discuss, let's get into the video. So a quick review of Game Week 6, I managed to score 74 points of the game week, but even with such a decent score, I still managed a red arrow, and I've now dropped to 904k overall. Starting off with a positive notes though, our new signing Botman managed to get a 12-point haul after he grabbed himself a goal when Newcastle thumped Sheffield United 8-0. A couple of minutes after the Game Week 6 deadline on Saturday, there was rumours floating about Twitter that Botman was left out of the squad because he wasn't seen on the team bus. Thankfully then the news broke on Sunday that he brought his girlfriend's keys to training and he had to drop them back to her, so he wasn't left out of the squad and thankfully came away with that goal and his 12-point haul. Unfortunately, our other signing Alvarez wasn't able to return after a sacrifice in the 56th minute after Rodri got a straight red for City. It was the right move though, however, especially looking at long term, as Jackson managed to pick up his 5th yellow card amazingly in 6 games, and it now sees him suspended for Game Week 7. Keeping faith in the United assets proved to be the right call, with Bruno coming away with a 10-point return after he picked up the only goal of the game. Thankfully Onana finally got his second clean sheet of the season and picked up a save point for a 7-point return. Unfortunately, Rashford wasn't able to return, so he's high up in the chopping block for this week, but United do have a nice fixture against Palace this weekend, but we'll chat about that later on in the video. As expected, Estepinian came back into the Brighton starting 11 in a Brighton side where the Zerbi made 9 changes from their win against United in Game Week 5. They did concede against Bournemouth however, but at least Estepinian came away with an assist late on for his 4th return of the season and a 6-point haul in Game Week 6. With 2 players involved in the North London derby on Sunday, thankfully Maddison and Saka both checked out with 2 returns each and came away with a 22-point haul between them. Saka did pick up an injury however at the end of the game, so he's a big doubt now for the Bournemouth game in Game Week 7, so we'll need to keep an eye on Arteta's presser at the end of the week. Maddison also jarred his knee at the end of the game, but he looks he'll be alright for the weekend. Bryan Mbeumo made it a disappointing 2 blanks in the last 2 game weeks after he wasn't able to return against Everton in a fixture I thought he'd do very well in. He also picked up a yellow card to bring a disappointing 1-point return. He does have Forest up next however in Game Week 7, so I'll be hoping for a return from him, especially with him being on penalties. I kept faith in Chilwell in the hopes of him starting on Sunday, but he was once again left out of the starting 11 and he rather frustratingly made a late cameo and picked up another stupid yellow, so 0 points was the return from him. At the time of this recording, Chilwell has just left the pitch injured in Chelsea's EFL Cup game against Brighton, so now he's a major doubt for Game Week 7. Rather annoyingly, Goose is suspended for Game Week 7, so I was hoping to play Chilwell away to Fulham, but now it looks like I might need to take a hit this week. Even though he was left on my bench, it was good to see Kabore come away with a 5-point return after he picked up an assist against Wolves. He was also rested in Luton's EFL Cup game during the week, so it's looking likely he's going to come into my start 11 for Luton's double game week. Even though I got a small red arrow, I'm still in a good position, ranked inside the top 1 million at 904k overall. The ranks are very stacked at the moment, so one good week for my team should see me rise up the ranks. We've now got a double game week to plan for, so let's see how I'm shaping up ahead of the Game Week 7 deadline. Before I get into my Game Week 7 team selection, let's have a look at some key takeaways we've learned from Game Week 6. Youngman's Son was deployed through the middle once again, and he reaped the rewards with Spurs' attacking style of play, scoring twice against Arsenal to come away with a major haul. Saka picked up a late injury in the game also, so we need to keep an eye on whether or not he'll be fit for the Bournemouth game in Game Week 7, and if he isn't, Youngman's Son could potentially be coming into my team. Nick Jackson picked up his 5th yellow card in the first 6 games, so if you are looking for a replacement, Morris could be a shout with a double game week for Luton. Keeping faith in the United assets finally paid off as it came away with some good returns against Burnley, and with some nice upcoming fixtures for the United lads, I think it's sensible to keep hold of them. Looking at clean sheet odds ahead of Game Week 7, it's good news for Newcastle and City defensive assets, with them both ranking in the top 3. Rather surprisingly, Everton are ranked top for the chance of a clean sheet, so if you do own Morris ahead of the double game week, you might need to hope for returns in the second game, with the bookies favouring Everton for a clean sheet. Looking at predicted points for Game Week 7, Erling Haaland once again tops the charts with a predicted point score of 8.9 points with his away fixture against Wolves. Carlton Morris isn't too far behind him with his double game week for Luton, so if you are looking for a Nick Jackson replacement, I think he's worth a punt this week. So looking at my current lineup ahead of Game Week 7, Onana earns a spot in goals after picking up his clean sheet against Burnley last weekend. He also kept a clean sheet against Palace in the EFL Cup midweek, so I'll be hoping he can do the same this weekend. So moving on to the defence, Kabora comes into the starting 11 with his double game week for Luton, with some decent fixtures to be fair against Everton and Burnley, so I'll be hoping for a sneaky little clean sheet, or at least a 4-point return over the 2 games. Estepinian is beside him in defence for now, with a fairly difficult task against Villa on Saturday morning, so I may have to think twice about playing him, but for now he's beside him in defence. Botman completes my 3-man defence, coming off the back of a 12-point haul in Game Week 6, so I'll be hoping for at least a clean sheet against Burnley this weekend. One Newcastle defender may not be enough for my team, so I may potentially be looking at bringing another one in this week. Moving on to my 5-man midfield, I'm content with keeping the 2 United assets with their home fixture against Palace, and with a lot of their players coming back from injuries, I'm really hoping they can get a haul this weekend. Maddison picked up a slight knock at the end of the Arsenal game on Sunday, but he did say after that he should be fit for the game against Liverpool on Saturday, so I'm happy enough that he stays in the team. Arteta confirmed during the week that SAKA wasn't able to train on Tuesday, so now he's a major doubt for the Bournemouth game at the weekend. If SAKA is set to miss this weekend, I'll probably be looking at transferring him out, as Arsenal face City in Game Week 8, so I don't think he'll be risked this weekend if he is a doubt. Brian Mbeumo completes my 5-man midfield for now, with his away fixture against Forest at the weekend, and after 2 blanks in his last 2 games, I really hope he can get something this weekend. Moving on to the front 2, Haaland and Alvarez complete the lineup with their away fixture against Wolves. Alvarez played 76 minutes in the Cup last night, so he should be fine for the weekend, and Erling Haaland had the night off altogether in a night where City were knocked out of the Cup. That's my current lineup for now. Let's have a look at my potential transfers ahead of Game Week 7. After the injury to Chilwell last night, I could be forced into making my first points hit of the season. Kieran Trippier is the prime candidate to come in for Chilwell, just off the back of an 18-point haul after picking up 3 assists against Sheffield when Newcastle ran riot. Newcastle have a great run of upcoming fixtures over the next few, so bringing in Trippier now is a sensible move, and I'll be able to double up with Botman in defence also. The injury news surrounding SAKA doesn't sound too promising at the moment after he was unable to train on Tuesday, but I'll be waiting until the press conference on Friday for confirmation on whether or not he'll be able to play this weekend. If SAKA is set to miss this weekend, I'll be looking at bringing in Heung-min Son, who's up against Liverpool this weekend, but I fancy Spurs on the counter against Liverpool. Son showed how dangerous he was against Arsenal, and I'm expecting to do the same against Liverpool this weekend. Bringing him in this week also ensures I have him for that favourable fixture against Luton in Game Week 8, so I think it's sensible to bring him in this week. So with those 2 potential moves, here's how my team will be lining up ahead of the Game Week 7 deadline. I will be waiting until the press conference on Friday in the hope SAKA is past fit, and if he is, I'll be able to avoid the hit, and I'll keep SAKA in the team, and Son will have to wait until next week. With the Chilwell injury news, I think I do have to move for Trippier this week, as Newcastle do have a great run of fixtures over the next few, and I do want to double up. Let's head to a pitch in Galway, and let's have a look at who I'm captaining this week. Right, so we're just on the 21-yard line here at the sideline. Double game week for Luton and Man City against Wolves, so bit of a task with the captaincy this week. Two footballs this week, so hopefully there won't be a lot of running. We'll see how we get on. Haaland for the Ironman. So Haaland gets the Ironman once again this week. We don't have Morris for his double game week. We only have Kabora for Luton, but we're not going to captain him, so Haaland gets it up against Wolves this weekend. Game Week 7, so 30th of September is going to be the first FPL meetup of the season in Pucon, County Galway. We've got a good crowd coming, so if you are deciding whether or not you want to come, and you are thinking that you do want to come, do drop us a DM on Instagram and Twitter, and we'll get you added to the guest list. Right, that's the captaincy video done. Let's go home and finish this video, and I'll show you my Game Week 7 team selection. Yeah, there's no surprise to see Haaland getting the Ironman for the 7th time this season. With Wolves conceding 12 goals in their opening 6 games, I'm expecting a haul from Haaland. I don't have Morris in the team, and if you did have him, to be honest, I'd take the punt on him with the double game week for Luton. I'll have to stress again that if SAKA is in training before the weekend and he's looking likely to play, I'll be keeping him for the Bournemouth fixture, and Son will have to wait another week to come into the team. If you've made it to the end of this video, please give it a like, drop a comment below, and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. If you are watching this video and you're not subscribed, please do hit that subscribe button below. We're on the road to 5k subs, and with your support you can help me get there. I'm also looking forward to meeting some of you for the first time at the Irish FPL meetup this weekend, and we also have a very special guest who's very well known in the FPL community who will be joining me on my deadline stream this weekend, so keep an eye out for that. There you have it. There's my GameWeek7 team. Best of luck for GameWeek7. I'll see you in the next video.